Mystic, are we back to normalish by summer question. Everybody's answer is vaccine versus variants. You study the variants. What's your answer to that question?
Gosh, I think again, I've been overly optimistic and wrong throughout the pandemic, so take that with a grain of salt. My sense is that we're putting too much thought into vaccines, really, in terms of the variants. I think, what concerns me is, the United Kingdom did not control B117 by vaccination. They controlled it with a lockdown and vaccination. And so I mean, it does worry me how we're kind of approaching this and, thinking about it as a vaccination problem. That said, I am optimistic that I think summer, if we get enough vaccinated people and we can kind of get things under control, that, we'll be in a much better place. But, I must say the last couple of weeks here have really kind of, pushed me to the pessimistic side, because I thought we were already heading closer to that direction, at least in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, I finished listening to your Michigan discussion, still a little bit unsure, which may be an accurate reflection of where you are. But is your sense that it's being driven by a disproportionate amount of the variants, or do you think you're looking more carefully and you really don't have that much more variance than everybody else if everybody was looking as carefully as you are? And if that's right, then what is it? What's going on there?
Yeah, I think we got variance. It's not quite the same as, some of the numbers suggest, but it's more than you need. And I do think that it's certainly one of the drivers. But I think that the same drivers are happening in many states. And, there's, certain things I think in Michigan that might be leading to the cases going up. And I also think that there's of course, we've seen in the pandemic that there's a lot of stochasticity in this whole thing, right? Like, why one state will all of a sudden have an outbreak. You're not doing anything different from another state, right? There's a certain amount of luck.
Right.
And then, I'm shaped in my thinking a lot. It's like we had a big campus outbreak in January and February. And at the same time, that's when the variants arrived. But when we look at the data, boy, we only had like 40 or 50 cases that were B117 and like 1,000 that were non-B117. And so it just highlights how challenging it is to determine what's determining your case numbers and your hospitalizations. But without a doubt, the variant's contributing. I just think it's hard to tease out, and we might be overemphasizing the variants in some cases.
What's going on the ground there in terms